What's going on, Underworld?
Hi guys, I'm back.
So, there's only going to be 2 screens this week. Sarah's back.
I'm not in danger, I promise.
She made it safe.
I did.
So all the way home from Chicago.
Oh, it feels so good. It was nice, but...
How's everybody doing? Let us know how you are in the comments. We got a very special guest for you guys this week.
I'm excited.
It's our friend Luna.
Where are they from?
They're from Oregon. They travel to different places, and we're going to be talking about a couple of them places today.
Yeah. They actually have a YouTube page right now.
It's called Finding Unknown.
It's pretty cool.
These are our friends. Let's bring them on and have a chat with them.
Let's welcome them. Hi, guys.
What's going on?
Welcome.
Luna and Nolan. Appreciate you guys being here and having a conversation with us.
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
All right. So let's know exactly what you guys do, or, you know, I know you guys have a YouTube. How do you guys go along getting the YouTube and everything?
So I work for a living. I'm a professional psychic medium and tarot reader. So I do tarot readings and spell work and stuff like that. But I guess on the side, my other full-time job, quote unquote, is a paranormal investigator. We just recently started converting a camper van. And we had went across the country in a camper van for about 2.5 weeks to get the content for season 2. Originally for season 1, it was just some local places around Oregon, but we realized if you're going to have a successful YouTube channel investigating the unknown and spooky things, you're going to have to travel. It's just required. Well, this stuff, not everything is just in one state. So that's where we get our content. And, you know, we own our own production company, our own camera. We edit everything by ourselves. Everything that you see is out of our pocket. We don't have sponsors. You know, this is something that we do because we love it. So
yeah,
all right with you.
Yeah, that's pretty much where we're not at that point of traveling to investigate yet, but we're getting there.
Not it.
So you guys are based out of Oregon, correct?
Yeah.
Oh, do you guys, I know you guys are getting into the traveling and everything. Was it hard getting stuff in your area? I'm not too sure about Oregon and West Coast.
do you want to talk about it?
It's just, you have to put effort into it. There's some big places, you know, like when we have friends that want to come here, they're like, what about this place? What about that place? And it's like, place is huge, you know, like $1,000.
Yeah.
And most of it's haunted, you know, it's just big name stuff. There's a ton of, every state has a ton of history, but Oregon has different history, you know.
Right.
There's lots of abandoned places. And, you know, just growing up here, we've been able to, you know, by word of mouth, you know, just the conversation of, so what's that thing that you guys are doing? It's like, oh, we went and stayed at a funeral home that was abandoned for 40 years. Dude, you should check out this bar. It's like they got this guy there and all this stuff. And then it's like, oh, I know the guy that owns that place. And hey, do you know, and next thing you know, people are like, yeah, come on. So
nice.
and it's not, I think everywhere where you are local to, there's tons of stuff. You just have to,
Find it.
and kind of.
And it's hard in Oregon because everything's under the historical umbrella. So a lot of the places you want to go are owned by the state, and they don't allow paranormal investigators to get into. I would say Oregon's probably one of the most difficult states to actually have people allow you into their places here, which is why you don't really typically see a lot of TV shows or investigators really dying to come here because it is very difficult to get into those places.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of paranormal shows my whole life, and yeah, we don't. Now that you mention that, I don't see a lot in Oregon.
No, it's hard.
Now that you mention that, yeah, that's pretty crazy to think about.
Yeah.
So, did you get Nolan, or did Nolan get you
How'd you guys
into
meet?
investigating? Or
Investigating.
So I was originally doing this first, and this was under Luna Paranormal, and I started the YouTube channel as soon as I met him, like a month or two after, and I wanted to do my own show. And at first, I don't think he really knew exactly what it was I did. I think he understood, but I don't think he realized how serious I took it. Maybe I was just one of those quote unquote cool witch goth girls that just wanted to do it for fun,
Yeah.
And when he saw how serious it was, and he came with me on investigations and kind of held the camera for me and stuff like that, and then realized, it was a passion. So he ended up finding out how much he loved it as well. And I said, hey, do you want to be a part of Luna Paranormal Productions and, be my co-star? And it just went from there. So season 2, this last season, starting with the McIntyre Villa, the episode, we officially launched Nolan into the YouTube channel so people could start to get to know him and build that rapport with him. So
it's awesome.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's pretty much what I did to Sarah. That's how I met Sarah. I was like, yeah, I'm a paranormal investigator. I go do something. She's like, oh, cool. You want to hang out?
Yeah.
We've been together ever since.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. But so that was the McIntyre Villa for your first investigation, Nolan. What do you think of your first, is that your first big investigation? Or
No, we had I don't know, maybe 10 or so before that.
So you were pretty seasoned in.
You scroll,
Yeah.
it starts out with she's doing it by herself with a phone, by herself, tripod, moving around, all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then I saw that, and we always say we don't know what we're doing, we don't experience. Mainly, we didn't go to school for video editing or film.
Neither did I.
Yeah. Some experience in filming. I filmed some other stuff, and I just watched it, and I was like, dude, do you want help? Not
Like,
not like
you
it's
suck.
bad, but it's like, hey, I could hold it for you and follow you around. And so the plan was for me, because I was like, I don't want to, only knowing her a couple months, I was like, I don't want to butt myself into her thing. And then if she decides I don't really like this guy, then you gonna delete it or whatever. I don't know. So it was I'll just film and carry stuff, and I'm into editing.
Sorry, that's us.
That was me. My bad. Forgot to turn Facebook off.
We get a lot of weird noises here too. So, but so it started out with I'll just stay behind the camera, and then it turned into I'll do an Estes session, try it. And then it was we were doing investigations where she was getting kind of harsh feedback from the spirits. And then she would say something like, oh, do you want to talk to this guy? And the answer would be yes. Or it would say my name, which my name only rhymes with one other word, no one. And it's clearly not no one. It's that for me is I don't like to do it so much, but and then it turned into I gradually got more into it.
Yeah, when I first got my SB11, I took it out of the box and I was playing with it, trying to learn how to use it. And Christopher came through in the same house my grandparents died in.
Yeah.
So hearing your name out of just nowhere, it's pretty cool. So
McIntyre Villa was the first episode that we did, but that was actually the last episode of that trip.
Yeah.
We went from Oregon. We went through Nevada, hung out with Michelle, Ghost
Yeah.
Magnet.
Ghost Magnet.
And then
Cool.
we ended up doing like Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, then the Expelled in Arkansas, Broken Bow Asylum. Actually, those are flipped. And then we did McIntyre Villa. And the last thing that we experienced on the whole trip was the balloon.
Wow.
So we were like, sure, we got to do this one first. Just boom, you know?
Yeah.
So that's like, we kind of did it backwards, which is looking back, like we developed like this rating system, like, you know, like how many ghosts.
1 through 5. I saw
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, and we keep saying stuff like, you guys know the drill, and it's like, no, they don't, because this is the last episode.
This is the last episode.
Yeah, but yeah,
So,
that was wild.
We're gonna play a couple clips on YouTube. So we're gonna start out with McIntyre Villa for the ghost, or for the balloon. I mean, I'm sorry.
Let's go. That balloon, dude. So I don't know if you guys know, but we can't see the video.
They can't hear us, so I think.
Hold on. Sorry, we're
Still learning.
we're trying to
this,
figure
my
it out.
bad.
I'm sorry.
I wasn't sure if it was playing on your end or ours. No, it's fine.
Yeah.
I just want to let you know it's fine.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right.
sorry.
So, give us one, but we'll talk about the Expelled before I play the video again. So was that like a haunted house or
The McIntyre Villa or the Expelled?
the Expelled slaughterhouse?
So we believe it was a slaughterhouse prior, then it turned into a bakery, then it was a barbecue joint, and then it just turned into what is called the Expelled. It's a haunted attraction for Halloween, and I think they do some stuff throughout the year where it's an actual haunted attraction, like the haunted houses and stuff where they have paid actors and things like that. So yeah,
It's really good.
It is pretty cool. I've watched that video multiple times.
Thank you.
All right, let's see if this works again.
Making sure we're on the right video.
no worries.
We have it on the.
Hey everybody.
Can you hear it?
I can't hear it or see it.
Okay. So sorry,
All right.
we pulled up the wrong screen, so it's not this one.
We're just gonna talk about. We don't have. I don't know why the videos aren't playing, so I'm just gonna scratch
You
it.
shared the wrong link.
So sorry.
Sorry, we
guys.
have
Oh, don't
fine.
apologize. It's fine. No worries.
I've seen it before.
No worries.
Yeah.
no, that one. That one. All right.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. That's the one. Sorry, we're
It's okay,
figured.
no worries.
You guys can hear us when this is playing?
The what?
When it's playing, you don't hear us?
No.
Okay.
Well, we can actually. It's when we're
No,
sharing.
don't worry about it. Just wondering.
Because like it's still a really very real thing, and like people still get threatened over it. Can you tell me more about the bodies and what happened to them?
Heyo.
Serial just tormented stuff like. Oh my god, that's crazy. Thank you.
We're gonna go from this into awesome. That's awesome. So we can get into both parts since we played both of them. So it was an old slaughterhouse, and then you said it would turn into what?
It was a barbecue joint,
Okay.
which is like really just bad
Yeah,
taste.
That's crazy.
Then a bakery, and then they took over from the bakery. The bakery didn't do well, wonder why.
Right.
And then over to now a haunted attraction where they have paid guests and where they scare people and things like that. It's
Right,
just a
right.
really awesome building.
It's huge.
Massive.
Oh, it looks huge. So the couple clips that I watched the whole thing. I love that episode, by the way.
Thank you.
But so there was you in the intro little part where you read, you were talking to a serial killer.
So yeah, I was picking up, Spirit was picking up because I'm a medium. I was
Right.
picking up serial killer stuff. I kept getting like, there was this guy that was obsessed with like bringing people back and having the power and like offing them. And that's why I was like, I keep picking up serial killer stuff. And as soon as I said that, the REM pod just went crazy.
Wow.
So I had to put it up on the text because I was kind of whispering it a little bit. So I was like, I'm picking
Right.
up serial killer stuff right now, so
Right.
Ghost
So-
said fingers 5 times.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what's going on with the fingers. Like,
They're getting mulched up into meat.
Yeah. That's
so
basically
is that like proven or?
that's what Spirits was
So-
saying.
They
Wow.
Don't
we
say their
don't
names.
we don't say names.
We can't.
because it's a small
That's
community.
completely fine. That's fine.
A small community, and stuff still happens, but everywhere where there's power, there's like, I guess, corruption,
Right.
and it is not surprising to think that maybe people were like taken care of there,
Right.
like
That's like Texas.
listening
Chainsaw.
people,
Yeah.
maybe people in power, maybe law enforcement,
Some politicians, maybe.
maybe maybe a person that was high up in law enforcement who passed away.
Yeah.
His full name came up.
Yeah.
Maybe,
there's
maybe
just-
not. But
Wow.
there was lots of really hard hints towards not
Foul play.
just accidents happening, but
Foul play.
yeah.
Right.
Like that's while we were there, and then we're there with people that grew up there, and they're like, "Holy crap, dude! This is like makes so much sense."
Yeah. Where she could have been old enough to eat that meat.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, she was freaking out.
In the episode. She's like, "But
Yeah,
used
well, I
to
saw
eat
it.
it."
Yeah.
And I was like,
She's like, then what you just say?
"What do you think the hot dogs are made out of?"
Yeah. I was like, wow. So,
Yeah.
and I know on the speaker box or on the spirit box, they were mentioning one of the actors' names that act in one of the rooms.
2 times. 2 different actors.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's crazy how much. So it's a very intelligent spirit.
Yeah. What I love about the Expelled, and I'm just going to say this about them, not that other people don't, but I think that sometimes when people own a property and they know that it's lucrative to bring in paranormal investigators. Right. Sometimes they just want the money. They don't upkeep on the property. It turns to, we've seen that before, like with Broken Bow Asylum. It was awful. There was feces everywhere. Bad. It was disgusting. You could tell they were just using it for money, where this place, the Expelled, you could tell like they were getting teary-eyed, and I didn't show that about when they talk about the spirits. They're truly family to them. Like they even come and help scare people. They help, it's like the cast and them are family. So to see that passion, the tears in their eyes, being like, well, this is our family. These spirits mean something to us. We never want to make them feel a type of way. So, that connection with the character. So it doesn't really surprise me that they were saying the characters' names, because it's like a family there. The spirits are truly welcomed and vice versa. So it's very beautiful to see that camaraderie between the dead and the living. It's awesome.
Sadly, oh, good.
Go ahead.
One of the most intelligent parts of that investigation, I filmed in slow-mo, so we didn't get to put it on there. No excuses, but walking through a haunted maze in the dark, with the microphone right there, so you got to press it this many times, not that many times. But we had a whole session at the end where we were in like the last room, and there was definitely like call and answer. We were like, hey, do you like so and so, Stacy or whatever?
Brandy and Stacy.
Brandy, or like I think we even said like we did like very specific yes and no questions, and there'd be like definite no's and then definite like yeses. Grabbing the REM pod. And it was so cool. And then she's up, we live in a tiny house, and she's up in the loft that she works from. And she's like, hey, dude, that whole like last 45 minutes was in slow-mo. And I was like, can't
really fix that.
We'll just go back.
Yeah.
We've done that before in Oregon, but not Arkansas.
Right. Yeah. This one over here likes to not hit the record button sometimes.
I did it one time.
One time, okay.
It was great evidence, though. It was great evidence. I'll take that as a personal experience.
Yeah. Well, when she does it, it's like on an intro clip, where she does voiceovers really well and all that. But for me, it's like
always
that 50 minutes when it said your middle name and the last 4 of your social security number, and then it's like,
yeah. I just posted something on Underworld today or the other day. It's when the ghost finds you attractive, and the girl's like, oh. So we have another clip from your YouTube.
Hi, everybody that said hi.
Hi, Bonnie. Thank you for the compliment, by the way.
All right.
Revenge. See, I heard permit.
And when we edit, this light's still on, by the way.
Yeah.
It's not making any sound. But the extra light.
Did I get you? No, thank you, Jen. I think it's a thank you, Jen. I'm kind of weak. Did people get ground up with the cows here? god.
Wow.
And then it goes off. That's so freaking gross. Oh my god.
Thank you. So, like, how often did you eat?
Are we right?
That was me.
What'd you do with them? Did they grind them up? So disturbing. If that's what you call it.
Wow.
What machine did they use?
In the 60s. That's crazy.
Did it say something percent?
As a percentage of people.
What? Mr. Insulin. I keep hearing insulin.
I heard insurance.
Maybe he did it
Both.
for insurance
Yeah.
or what? Yeah, like insurance. Was it insurance fraud?
Did the law enforcement take care of stuff outside of court here? Handle business?
I don't want to be.
We all want to be.
We all want to be.
What do you want to be?
Who did that sound like? That did sound like. Also has deep ties to this county. Interesting.
Ew, what if he
Was in on it too.
Ralph Baker were like this?
He's also still very much alive.
Also,
Ralph
we should.
Baker
Yeah,
were friends.
we're gonna bleep that part out. 'Cause I
He's
think-
still alive.
I don't want to talk about conspiracy.
We all want to be.
And
We all
are
want
in
to.
Arkansas.
Yeah.
We all want to be what? We're listening. Sorry, we're interrupting so much. We're just really.
Fingers.
We're just really
Heard Mercy.
interested.
Filmmakers.
Maybe.
And we gotta cut it off so you guys can go watch the episode.
Watch it on their
It's a little teaser. But that's crazy.
That's nothing for that episode.
Yeah.
That was like the clear. So are you guys using just a regular spirit box or
Ghost to Vox. It's an app on the phone. We have
Yeah.
never had it be that clear
yeah?
ever. And so I'm telling you, Ghost to Vox works.
Well, we
That's what I'm about to
both
go
have
buy.
it. We both have it on our phone.
That's what I'm about to go buy.
Yeah, they are. That's crazy.
You can hear everything plain as day, clear.
Yeah,
And it's just like, and you know, we're not making up because sometimes you hear things you're like, maybe it sounded like this, but that was like you heard every word for what it was.
right.
There was no making it up.
That's no at all. Like that was the owner behind you or
Yep.
beside you, right? Like even her face, she was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's crazy. So
Yeah.
how did you get in contact with them? Did you through this?
Okay, so our friend Jules Paranormal. So if you guys don't follow her, please go follow her. She's absolutely amazing. So she is a paranormal investigator in Arkansas, and she got us hooked up with Brandy, and we were the second quote unquote investigators to be able to investigate in this place.
Right.
You know, thanks to Jules. So if you guys,
She's
wanna
the other
follow
girl
her-
in the episode.
Yeah, she is. She's the other girl in the episode.
Okay. All right. So I have another clip. I gotta get back to it.
I love watching these clips. Actually, this is fun.
Well,
Yeah. If you want to do that, go for it.
Technical difficulties, people.
We're working on
But we
it.
do this all the time. You guys should be used to this by now.
You're fine.
And at least our computer hasn't turned off yet.
Oh,
Are you excited for Abigail to come back?
Yeah, I mean she loves it. She's great.
Not you.
Oh. Do you like Abigail? And Olivia?
it's other people.
Do you guys like her? Is it funny when she scares people? Should we keep going deeper?
We can.
Okay. Let's see if we can get more answers in different places. I feel like
We got there was that.
So I'm gonna stop it on the S's. So is that like one of your guys' go-to while you're paranormal investigating? Or I know that you love doing
I
the
love
SS
it.
method.
We take turns.
We do, but yes, the ghost tube box, we're instantly go to ghost tube box. But the Estes session we use the SB7.
Okay. Now, do you guys have SB11 or just use SB7?
We do.
So we asked this question last interview. What is your favorite piece of equipment you guys like using? You can both answer if you want.
Flashlight.
Flashlight.
I'm gonna
Like-
say flashlight. Absolutely.
Yeah,
We
it's the
love the
easiest
cat
way.
balls.
Yeah.
We love our cat balls. They just that was the best $6 I've ever spent.
Right.
I also have a dowsing rods that I like to use.
So we're gonna go to the McIntyre Villa. So this one blew me away. Like I have never seen this ever.
I haven't seen.
And any kind of the only one I saw was Destination Fear when they put the balloons up and one of the ones popped. That's only the experiment. You said the twins paranormal used the same, but not the same. That'd be cool though. The same balloon, but the same idea.
Yeah.
That's where you guys got the idea from, right?
Yeah.
It turns out that the gal Stephanie that owns the place, she has like a helium tank there and balloons. So I'm not sure if she was used to it and then people that show up are like, let's use balloons.
Yeah.
But yeah, we definitely ripped it off from Twin Paranormal. We watched them and I planned most of this trip. And once I got in touch with Stephanie and realized we were going there, I was like, we have to do a balloon.
Right.
I didn't ask her if she had them. I didn't think about it.
We didn't even know. Yeah.
But there's details about our balloon that kind of makes sense with why maybe it worked.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like this.
Me
It's
either.
awesome. Right.
I got this weird chill right now. It's almost fine.
This is weird stuff.
Weird stuff. It's like
Weird stuff.
Wow.
Ah,
what?
Dave, look,
What?
look. Crashing down on this part.
I stopped right there.
So that was just a little clip. We got actual footage, or they got actual footage from the DVR system they have there. We'll play that in a little bit. But explain what the McIntyre Villa is.
In 1889, some saddle maker had some money, had that place built for 14 grand.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And lots of stuff happened there.
There was a violinist and pianist that lived there for a while too. And then another lady, I forget what her name is. It says it in the episode. It's so hard to remember all the names, but she lived there. And she ended up was it Goldie? And she ended up passing away in the rocking chair there. And she actually lived in that villa for quite a few years by herself.
Yeah.
And then Steph's father, actually, she put his ashes and remains in the house too. So she believes her father's even haunting the place too.
That's a big trigger.
One of the death confirmed, I believe, and then there's also a suicide.
A hanging, right? A hanging.
He shot himself.
Shot himself. That's right.
Wow.
There was one of the family members, war veteran, this and that, and he shot himself in that room where we were sitting
With the screaming.
with the EVP.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could see you right before it came up. You're like, oh no, I don't want to hear it again. So, what did you? If I don't, it's okay if you don't remember exactly what happened and everything, because I know you guys get caught up in the moment. I know I do when you get something like that.
Yeah.
But what were you guys? Were you just in a room trying to communicate, or?
So we want one of those recorders. That was one of Steph's recorders she allowed us to use, which was very kind of her. They're like $1,300 on eBay, so they're pretty intense. But she had it on our walk and was recording to show us the screaming. So we were aware that this was probably going to happen. She calls him the screaming guy. She honestly played it for us and it didn't phase her anymore because she's heard him do this so much. Yeah. But I'm sorry, but like when you're somebody who's not used to it and hearing that, it truly does get into your bones.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
We just tried to get any response or answer at all. And that's all we could pretty much get the whole time in that recorder was just him screaming bloody murder. And it was,
Is that the guy that shot himself for the suicide? Or
he would not come forward. He would not come forward.
So
he just
screamed.
And in some part of the investigation, when Nolan was doing the Estes session, the spirits led me to believe that they don't even know who he is. They kind of just dismissed it when I talked and were like, nah, whatever. And they just kind of moved on. So it's making me wonder if they're even in the same time frame or like,
right.
So the spirits didn't even really notice him either. So
is that, you think there's more of like a portal in there, or?
It's
the house itself up in the attic of that place. I think Nick Groff spent a couple days there.
Yeah, he did in the basement. He slept in the basement.
Yeah.
Is that the one with what's it called? Paranormal Lockdown? With
yes, but actually it was his own show. He started on YouTube.
Oh, the Groff episodes or files or whatever it was. Okay.
It was Deathwalker. Deathwalker is when he was Deathwalker.
Yeah, with his wife. Right. God, yeah.
There's up in the attic, there's like all these mirrors, and it's wild because we were at Broken Bow Asylum two couple states away. Yeah. It was like 3 days later, and we looked at a mirror at Broken Bow Asylum, and then we saw the portal mirror to it at this place, and we got that. That's all in the episode, but there's a mirror for there. There's a mirror for the Sally house, which is like 60 yards away or something like that.
And the Velisca right there. Axe Murder house.
There's
just a bunch of different portals to different places in the McIntyre Villa.
Yeah, that's where Sam and Kobe investigated the Sally house, and Sally's haunting Sam supposedly. But
we tried.
Do you guys come in contact with them or other investigators while you're traveling, or?
Actually we can't really say too much because we've got some serious collabs coming up here in the next few months, but into next year you guys will see some pretty well-known people that we'll be collabing with. So yes, we do speak with them. Sam and Colby, no, not yet, but there are some bigger ones that we are collabing with, yes. But I mean, I'll just say, like, it's not really that hard to become friends with any paranormal investigators. Most of them are very down to earth, very sweet, kind people. The one issue that I had was feeling that I was worthy enough to say hello. So I just started saying hi to some of them, and they're very nice and they say hi back. I was on Dave Schrader's show. Dave Schrader's an amazing person too. So if you just kind of, talk to people and reach out, they're very sweet. So, just say hi. You never know. Just be like, can we collab? And I'm sure most of the time they'll be like, yeah, sure, absolutely. So
that's awesome. Yeah, we believe in para-unity a lot. Mm-hmm. Like it's turning into a bigger thing than it used to be. So like collabing and everything, I very strongly believe in para-unity and keeping up and trying to get with other investigators, because it's always better when you get somebody that knows a little bit more. You get to learn off those people and how they investigate, to where you can come and investigate even better because you've learned something new from another investigator.
Absolutely. They've got so much. They've been through so much, you know, and it's nice to just kind of learn.
Especially Dave Schrader. Like he's just one of the big pioneers in paranormal field right now.
He's honestly so down to earth. He's such a cool dude. It's like him and I had known each other for years when we talked. It was so cool. He's a cool guy. He really is.
That's awesome. Yeah. we have a parent unity thing that we're going to in October.
Mm-hmm.
It's at the Gilchrist County Jail in Trenton, Florida here. And it's a jail from the 1800s. And I went there last year with a band that I used to work with. And we've been talking ever since, me and the owner. And now we're really good friends. And we get to go there in October and meet a bunch of investigators that are here local in Florida. So we're really excited for that. It's not any big names like you guys, but hopefully
one day.
No, I mean, you know, it's all networking, you know, and for us, like, well, what's considered a big name? You know what I'm saying? Like, we're all just people. In the end of the day, we're all just here to do the same thing. And you know, there's some pretty awesome creators in Florida. We'll have to keep in touch because I know some people in Florida because I used to live there. So
awesome.
But like, yeah, it's awesome. I think it's really cool. Just collabing is always fun. It's just fun, no matter who you do it with. So
I've done a couple investigations, nothing like cameras or anything, but I've been to Eastern State, I've been to Pennhurst, I've been to all that stuff on the East Coast. I want to get out to the West Coast so bad. Every time I get a chance, I never get to go out there.
Yeah.
But I want to get out there. So I want to show this DVR video from the house to actually show you the balloon that we're talking about. It's just crazy. I don't even know what to say about it.
Night. We just got done taking a shower and came back, and look, the balloon is missing. So we are gonna go find it. I swear we didn't put it anywhere, and it's not the balloons on the ground. It's like up top. So
we get to check cameras.
yeah, she'll send us because obviously our cameras weren't rolling. So we will get the cameras to show us.
you and I were like,
Now, did any of the balls fall off the stair, or was it just the balloon?
no. This took us about 10 minutes to find the balloon.
I expected to find it at the top of the stairs, like if it just, you know. Luckily, I didn't think so.
Did you put the balloon like in a certain part of the house, like the front door, or
Right at the bottom of those stairs.
wow?
It stayed there the entire time.
Stop! It's by.
Okay, watch this. It starts taunting us. Did you move that balloon? Can you move it again for us?
It moved all the way down. Oh my god, I have Nolan. I have chills. Are you kidding me right now?
Yeah,
Guys, swear. I know that we see BS
or?
on YouTube sometimes in shows and things like that, but it was, what the hell? It went all the way from the bottom of the stairs through the hallway next to this puppet.
We're gonna get the owner to give us the footage.
There's the string. You can see it.
Yeah.
Just making its way down the hallway like it's every day.
We're in a room at the end of the hallway that it goes past.
And if you look, you'll see us in that doorway that did you see how it went under the door and came in?
Yeah. So is there anything connected to the puppet or the doll that's in that room, or?
It's there. So you can see us. It's just a piece of glass, and its puppet strings are just in there in the glass. It's just chilling in its own cabinet.
Wow. Yeah, we see you walk by a couple times too. You guys.
We're the only people there.
Didn't even know. And it's just like, and then the balloon just slowly comes down, and it's totally still flated. It's not deflated at all.
Yeah. Now, this has got helium in it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. There's no reason for that to do that.
Yeah.
And then when we
Like, I can understand like the airflow up the stairs and down the hall, but like a balloon won't just go under, down, and into a room and back up, and that's
This is what really got me, because it's one thing that it moved and we didn't see it,
Yeah.
but then
It
Huh.
moves down
Okay.
right before you go
Look,
in the room.
look.
yeah, you can see it lowering.
Thank you.
and then it just stays, because typically if
Can
we
you
would
move
pop-
it some more?
Yeah.
So, got to rate the McIntyre Mansion in Atchison, Kansas. I rate it a 20 out of 5. The balloon experience, we're on a new scale now.
Mhm.
We have to make a new scale, and this place hit our scale. We need a new measuring system.
Agreed.
So what is your new measuring system now? What's it go
Well,
up?
What is it?
I don't know.
We just get to make it up now.
Well, we went like, so like I was telling you before, that was our last the last stop
Investigation.
on our trip
Yeah.
of
Right.
15 states, and then we put that up first. So all these other ones, it makes more sense. So we kept saying things like, as you guys know, and it's like, no, they don't,
No,
because
they
it's the
don't.
first time.
Yeah.
We were going for more of like a Yelp review, like 1 out of 5, but I think we need to go to like chicken wing rating. Like maybe this one's like 6,500, like
Yeah.
hot ones, you know,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
like this one's
Last drop.
And we also wanted to do it for how friendly it is for paranormal investigators. Like she had water and coffee
Yeah.
and snacks and
yeah.
refrigerator, and she had Wi-Fi and this. So we kind of
Good
like to rate
Wi-Fi.
it based on that too, because
Right.
not a lot of people do that. Not a lot of people know, like if you go to the Clown Motel, you don't get any service. The Wi-Fi sucks. The water's cold. I wouldn't drink the water out of the faucet.
Don't even go to the clown.
Don't
Motel.
even go to the Clown
go to
Motel.
the Mizpah.
You know, it's just
Oh,
We did the
You wouldn't
Mizpah the
know
next
it.
night, and it was night and day.
yeah,
That's going to be maybe our last episode of this season.
yeah, the Mizpah. Mhm.
so you guys are on your second season right now?
Yep.
So going from your very first episode to the slaughterhouse or the expelled slaughterhouse, do you guys like? I know you guys had big dreams with the RV and everything. Like, what's your goal for this RV and going further?
Put 200,000 miles on it.
Fair enough. Fair
Yeah.
enough. So are
Yeah.
you guys doing like a Destination Fear, like Trail of Terror, like across the United States in an RV type thing, or?
Yeah. I like to drive.
I don't. So
And people,
Yeah.
I want to make this clear.
Perfect then.
I want to make this clear that it was my preference, but we drove over 5,000 miles, and she drove like 10 blocks of it, because we went and had dinner about I don't know, half a mile away from McIntyre Villa.
Yeah.
And, we were kind of hanging out because we had a bit of time to kill. So I don't drive. So
Yeah.
she drove back that far. But other than that, I like to drive.
just to be clear, I didn't drink and drive.
She didn't. No,
I did
she,
not drink and drive. You
she
made it
did-
sound like that
but, and
kind
she
of.
offered a lot, but it's like, no,
I did not.
Also, random factoid, we drove that entire time and I didn't listen to any music the entire time, which was kind of
Wow.
like a meditative thing.
Yeah.
She was working and doing, clipping stuff, backing up all the videos,
Right.
taking their batteries and stuff. I have a Jackery power system and stuff. So she
Okay.
was like killing it. Sometimes we wouldn't talk for like half of a day because I'm literally just 80
Yeah.
miles
Going and out. Yeah.
But it all started when our good friend, her brother Josh, paranormal.
Paranormal _ investigators invited us to Broken Boat Asylum for his birthday. And so we looked at Oklahoma flights, and it was like 4-hour drive from the freaking airport. So to rent a car, do all that was just almost as much as we spent doing a cross country. So I said, why don't we drive? So we gave ourselves 2.5 months to build this camper van. It was fine. There's still some stuff to do, but So we made a whole trip out of it, which was fine. But going forward, we don't really know how much we're still going to use the camper van and stuff. We don't know if we're going to invest in an RV. We don't really know exactly what we're going to do, but there is more things coming. Season 2, we have 3 more episodes to edit, and season 3 is spooky season. It's going to start in September, October. So there's going to be a new intro, new things, new guests, new collabs. And that's already happening next weekend. We've already started filming for it. So it's not even done. So we're needing to hurry up and get through these episodes. So, we do have some ideas for future seasons that nobody's really ever thought of before. So we're pretty excited.
You said that you work with bands.
I used to. I don't really much anymore, but yeah, I've traveled with bands pretty much.
Yeah, I'm like almost a washed up has-been.
Yeah.
I treated it like a tour, and I have a really awesome job. I work for the state of Oregon. Had a really awesome place. Unfortunately, we can't investigate there. But have you ever heard of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
Yeah,
that's where I work.
Wow.
It's a real asylum.
I work at a real asylum.
Yeah.
But,
that's awesome.
Yeah, we can't do that. But so being a state worker, they just give us tons of time off. And I've been there for almost 10 years. So she's like, how long would it take to drive to Oklahoma? And I was like, do we have to get there and get back? And she's like, I'm my own boss. So I just looked on the computer on work day, I could take off a month. So I told my boss, like, hey man, can I take off for a while? And he's like, you gonna have fun? Is everything okay? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, good, have fun. So I treated it like a tour, and I was like, okay, this is the way I want to go. What's on the way? Okay, Clown Motel. Let's do that. It'd be fun. Yeah. It's nice. 13 hours from here. We ended up actually staying in Reno, hanging out with Michelle and some of my buddies, and then went. And then it's like, okay, what can we do in Arizona? What about New Mexico? We have we did a couple places in Texas. One's pretty well known. I don't know if we're saying it or not.
The Goatman's Bridge.
We did Goatman's Bridge. And but we did I did it like the first leg was how to get to Oklahoma to meet up with Josh.
Right.
Meanwhile, we did a live with Dawn. I don't know everybody's _/
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry.
But with Dawn, and on her live, Jules is like, "Why don't you guys come to Arkansas?" And then I am being super anal when it comes to planning stuff.
Right.
She's like, when are you guys going to leave Oklahoma? And I said the date. And then she's like, when's the next time you have to be somewhere? And it was like 3 days. And then she just said, I'm not supposed to say that.
No, you're fine.
Sorry. I'm picky about things.
Yeah.
But I knew that I gave us a little bit of a cushion to get through Missouri and stuff. So then we just took over. And then the rest of it was like, okay, every 400 miles, it'd be cool if we had something to do.
Right.
That didn't exactly happen. We definitely drove we had some 10-hour days and stuff, but it was fine.
That's what a lot of people don't know. Like, you watch these videos on YouTube, like Destination Fear and these RVs and everything. Now they're in a little minivan.
Yeah, they're driving themselves.
Yeah. Like, you don't know that. Like, you just drove 13 hours to go and investigate a place for 13 hours to drive another 13 hours.
To do another 13 hours.
And you accidentally
hours of sleeping.
Yeah, you take turns sleeping in the front seat. Yeah. But she actually has family in Arkansas.
I have family all over. I have family in Chicago that I just got done seeing. I got family in Kentucky that's watching.
So we have connections over there, but we're trying. That's why we're trying to get into the investigation and everything. So we just figured we could start this podcast and reach out to people around the United States that actually do investigate places and learn from them. This is pretty much what this podcast is about, to educate people that watch and everything. But it's education for us too. Mm-hmm. We're trying, like I said, every investigator investigates. It's all the same pretty much, but they have their own way of doing it. So we can play another episode, or actually, no. I want to talk about your intro that we played. We didn't get over that yet. So was that you guys filming your intro, or did you guys have help with that? Was with a drone, correct?
Was it true?
Yeah, and if you watch the last part when we're holding hands, I actually have the controller in my hand.
really?
Oh wow!
I crashed a drone 3 times.
Oh wow!
Turns out that the what's it called, object detect stuff only works sometimes.
Right.
And like in the McIntyre Villa, that swoop around,
Yeah.
I crashed it into a tree, but luckily it was already after I got the shot.
Oh, nice.
It's
Yeah.
very, very sturdy. I crashed it 3 times. One time I crashed it into myself. I was going backwards and I was watching her,
Oh wow!
and it actually cut me.
Oh, wow.
That little blurb was on one of the Instagrams or something, but yeah, she has like a really, really, really good eye. And then I figured out the drone,
Right.
and I figured out how to walk smooth and this and that. And I'm real picky about like symmetry and
Right.
where we are and stuff. So she's just like knows exactly how to talk to me without even so many words. And she's like, "This is what I'm thinking. You're doing this, then I'm gonna do the same thing, and then it's gonna go like that around that thing right there."
Yeah.
And we did that in Missouri.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
Some
we stayed-
random cemetery.
We stayed the night in Missouri the night before going to McIntyre Villa. We stayed in Missouri just to get closer.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "Dude, we had to go to the store a couple times." And she's like, "Look at this cemetery." It was like blocks and blocks.
Yeah.
So she's like, "Let's go film a new intro there." And then when we were actually in Wyoming on our way home, it was crazy weather. Like we got there when it's 80 degrees, but then it was hailing and snowing overnight.
Wow.
She just busts out her Mac and she's like, "Let's put this together." And so we just sat in there after dinner, and instead of watching an episode of something, put it together in the van.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So that intro is actually gone. It's lost. I only have it on my Final Cut Pro up until the next 3 episodes because my hard drive took a complete crap, and most of our content and stuff to and that's one of the things I couldn't bring over and not be corrupted. So this last weekend we actually taped a new beginning and intro to the show for spooky season, and I would have to say it probably tops that one by like 1 million. So
You saw the picture.
the pictures
Like
and
that.
stuff. So we're actually dressed as if we're going to a funeral in this one. So this is
Oh man, I'm so excited to see it.
we've taken it up quite a few notches, and so it's really sad that intro's kind of been lost now, because once I deleted off of Final Cut Pro, it's gone. So it's like I'm really sad about it, but it's okay. It's okay. You just
Right. Yeah. When I was making the intro for this, I lost it a couple times and had to completely restart. So from where I started to what I finished with is not even anywhere close to what it was supposed to be.
no.
But if for investigators that are traveling and everything, what is like every investigator has like their pet peeves or what they like to do, like a beginning ritual to an investigation. What do you guys do to prep yourself for these investigations?
I ground myself into a light meditation because I'm a medium. So it's very important that I'm protected from any evil, unwanted energies I don't want near me. We just go in and we set the intentions on how we talk. For me, it's all about how you approach spirit and speak with them. I feel if you're going to antagonize them and poke the bear, it's not a good thing for us. It's always thank you. We appreciate it. Wow, you're doing so good. It's always good affirmations to spirits. And then when we leave, it's you must stay here. You cannot attach to our equipment. You cannot attach to us. We appreciate you allowing us into your space and into your home, and things like that. But it's all about being polite and opening and closing the session. So always making sure you're doing that through everything.
Now, do you guys use sage or blessing wood or crystals?
We do have sage if we feel like we need it. That's only if we ever feel we come across an entity that's just a little too much. I have, all the time I'm, wearing crystals and things. We also make evil eye bracelets too. Evil eye as well, which is
we got our crystals on all the time too.
I actually just got us some pendants and samples of stones, and I found out that I have both amethyst pendants and obsidian pendants, and the sample the same stones. So we're wearing each other's and holding each other's stones.
I love it. That's awesome. Yeah, stones work, crystals work, 100%.
Yeah, they when I went into the Gilchrist jail last year, I didn't ground my, like, it was supposed to be just a walk through, look at the jail. Like, he told me that it was haunted and he had spirits and everything. So I didn't really think of it too much. So I didn't ground or put a crystal in my pocket or anything. I didn't protect myself very well. And we went upstairs and I got hit in the chest so hard that I couldn't breathe for like 20 minutes. And I was like, yeah, for now on, no matter what, I'm grounding myself and protecting myself more, because that was by far, I've been investigating for like maybe 8 years, and that was like maybe the most physical and demanding thing that I've ever experienced investigating. And like I said, I've been to Pennhurst, I've been Eastern State, and not even there. Like, I felt the energy, and like I knew they were around me, but to ever just be touched, it's such a crazy feeling. Have you been touched, or like what was your like most physical, or like if somebody asks you what's your most dramatic thing that you ever got?
Mine would be the Delaney House and the Broken Bow Asylum, which that's coming up next. I actually got scratched at Broken Bow Asylum right on the back of my neck and my shoulder. So that was, and I also got my ass grabbed too. So that was very interesting. And then at Delaney House, I was actually caressed on my knee like this 3 different times. And that episode, it's actually Delaney Part 2 episode of the Delaney House. So you guys can see that. It's so, I don't know. I hate being touched. I'm pretty much don't touch me. You know, for him, he actually just recently got touched in the slaughterhouse.
As
was
an
probably
adult, yeah.
as at the slaughterhouse for like the first time, really, for him, I think.
Yeah, I grew up in a really active house from about 9 years old until I graduated high school. And it's kind of a weird thing because I actually had somebody ask me while I was filming, they're like, have you ever been touched before? And the first thing I thought was, not since I was little.
Right.
But then with my sense of humor, somebody might be like, dude, I'm talking about spirits. And I'm like, that's what I'm talking about, even though it is kind of funny. But yeah, at the slaughterhouse and at the Expelled, I had something like touch like this. And, you know, after being at Broken Bow, where that place is like dilapidated, you can look up in the ceiling and see the stars, you know, like it's messed up. But there's always a ton of cobwebs and wires. There's no electricity, but just tons of wires. Walking, and they'd like do that, and then you turn around, there's a wire there, and you're like, okay, that was a wire. But then when we were at the slaughterhouse, I felt this like this, and then like down the back of my head, and I looked to see if it was like a bug or something, and they're like, it's a warehouse, so there's like nothing there. It actually kept happening when I was doing an Estes session. I think I even put my hood up because it was just like going like this. But what I was feeling in the Estes session, I was just like, okay, knock it off. I'm like trying to pay attention, you know? So
we did an investigation here in Palm Harbor, and I was doing the Estes method, and I got a scratch all the way down my back. Like, it was just one red line. I was like, I don't know if anything got it, but it was one straight line all the way down my spinal cord. And it's like, it's a crazy feeling. It literally feels like cobwebs. Like, I don't know why just that energy and like the tingles that you can get on one side and not the other when something's standing next to you. Yeah, you're trying to feel it. You're trying to rationalize it in your head. And yeah, it's crazy when the spirits actually touch you. It's the best feeling. I feel like it's the best feeling. It's more like, you know, it's proof that somebody's there, you know. When you're sitting in a room for 12 hours trying to talk to yourself by yourself, and you actually get that validation, you get all happy and everything. So there's a thing that I like calling the investigation hangover. So the next day after investigation, you're so drained, you use all your senses, you use everything all night long. What do you guys do after investigation to unwind?
Sleep.
I sleep and she doesn't. I drive and she sleeps.
Yeah.
I like going for breakfast. That's
we have to caffeine, coffee.
We've gotten to the age where for us, I'm not going to stay up till 4 a.m. unless I absolutely need to. If I've gotten everything I need by 1, I'm good. You know, if we start at 6 p.m. and we go to 1, that's a lot of footage. That is a lot on your body. Not there's a lot of investigators that are like, I'll go from 6 to 4. I'm like, that's good for you because I'm tired. I'm a human being. I'm a medium. I get tired. So for us, if we can get out and get our footage within, you know, a good time frame and go to bed, I'm going to. I'm an old lady. I like it, you know, so I'm not really going to try to stay unless they're just like you have from 11 p.m. to 4 a.m. Then I get it. I'm going to sleep beforehand and then, you know, but for me, I don't like to stay super late in investigations unless I absolutely have to.
So we're talking about the clown museum. You guys said there really wasn't that much in the hotel. Was there more activity in the cemetery next to it, or
humans?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to. It's not like we're taking away from other people's experiences. Some people have crazy experiences and things, but when we were there, we had one thing happen where we were starting to fall asleep, and we heard a voice go, "Hey." Like that, and we kind of both woke up and we were like, did you hear that? And he's like, yeah. But that was the weirdest thing. But for me as a medium, I slept like a baby. I slept like hard as a rock. I didn't feel anything come in and out of the room. Like it just, for me, it was just fun. It was a fun
kind of just fun.
It's a crazy experience walking into the lobby and seeing clowns.
Well, and then kind of validation because, you know, we talked about it obviously a lot because we drove through 15 states just looking at the windshield. But it's like, okay, imagine it being like a zoo and you want to go when they're feeding the tigers. But guess what? You got there and the tigers already ate in their sleep or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you're not always going to just be go, go, go.
Yeah.
And then we started talking about like wins and losses, like the balloon thing.
Freaking win.
Definitely a win.
Grand Slam. Didn't break the internet. I think that let's have 200 views on that episode.
Yeah, that's awesome.
However, when we watch other people, I think it was Sam and Colby and Destination Feared went to the Clown Motel.
Yeah, Chelsea and Landon, or Chelsea and.
And the only thing that you, as an investigator, that you might be like, that's pretty cool, was an Estes session.
Right.
And so it'd be one thing if they went. Also, the people that own the place, they're like, yeah, we're going to let you in this room that nobody's ever been to before. And I'm like, okay. And then we went in and filmed a bunch and stuff. And they're making like a virtual reality thing, or I don't know.
Right.
But then like we realized like they let other people in there before us and they're still letting people in.
Yeah.
But like I was waiting. I was like, all right, like maybe the bed will fly across the room, you know, like, it can happen. And they're like literally like did an Estes session. It was pretty engaging, but then they just leave and they go to like the Goldman Hotel or whatever.
Goldfield.
And it's like, okay, well, I mean, we can't expect the same thing to happen all the time. And the balloon thing was kind of like mainly because we had to kill time. You know, we had like a couple hours before we went and sat in the parking or the building, the back of the McIntyre Villa. So I was like, what are we going to do? Oh, let's go to Walmart and let's get some toys. Let's get a ball, something that lights up, because it's just the two of us. And we have that entire place to ourselves for like 18 hours or something like that. So I was like, we got to try everything. Everything has to be charged. We're doing every single room, you know.
So the Clown Hotel was like if you're on Route 77 and you want to see the world's largest collection of bottle caps. This one is just like the world's largest collection of clowns. Think of it like that. It's just a stop.
More like a sideshow attraction.
Right. Honestly, it's not the most haunted place I've ever been to. It is what it. Just go visit, see it for yourself. Paranormal investigators, go have fun. You know, we're not going to tell you not to go. But yeah, stay at the Miss Spa. It's a lot better, and it's a lot creepier and a lot more
glamorous.
Yeah,
like you feel like
clowns.
She's not a big clown girl, so we probably, you know,
I'll go on his own.
The band that I used to work for, the Dude, they actually did a show. They set up a stage at the Clown Motel and played in front of the motel, and then stayed there overnight. And they said that they didn't really have anything either. That's a repetition that I keep hearing.
Yeah.
Like, so it is like, if I feel like if an investigator can go in somewhere and just snap their finger and paranormal happens and they just show up, all of us would be rich.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, you can go into, say, go into like Penhurst or something where you know all this tragedy happened. I feel like you're not guaranteed all the ways, but like more of a history other than like a hotel. You know, I feel like you're more prone to get a something in like Penhurst than a clown motel or, you know. But they said that they have some haunted clowns in the lobby, or that's what they
Supposedly.
said. Yeah.
As a medium, I didn't feel diddly. So
No.
There's
Wow.
there's places around here like the Delaney house
Right.
that we know if we go
there's
for
going to be
for
something.
20 minutes, we'll be if we go and film for 20 minutes, we can make an 18-minute video that's worth watching.
Right.
Right.
Just we spent 2 days there or 2 nights and all day, and that place was like, the episodes are pretty early, so you got to like scroll down, but we ended up doing 2 parts. And there, for example, there's one where I'm sitting there, she's doing an SS session, very, very, very on point.
Right.
And she, like with a blindfold on, looks over her shoulder. And as she's looking over her shoulder, the camera picks up an orb. And then the spirit box says something that confirms something. And then the orb goes by the REM pod and the REM pod goes off.
Wow.
That's like lots of things confirming. It's not just like,
Yeah, absolutely.
you make a noise and then like
Yeah.
40 seconds later you hear something and it's like,
Yeah.
this place is also
Yeah.
older.
Something fell off the ground,
Yeah.
or the building settled a little more in creek.
Yeah.
But yeah, speaking of growing up in a haunted house, like, were you like attracted to ghosts more because you lived in the haunted house, or did you have like a fascination, like, oh my god, what is this? Or
Yeah, I started kind of sniffing around. I was pretty oblivious to it, and then as I got older, situations that I'd experienced I started remembering them, you know. Not
Right.
like I had amnesia, but you know, like one of the very first nights that we stayed there, might have been the second night that we stayed in that house. You know, hadn't even moved there yet. Stuff is still, you know, in boxes.
right.
Something happened, and I was like, whatever, lots of that. And then as I got older, I was like, man, this is like, stuff is happening and it's like playing games with me.
Right.
And then I tell my dad, and he's like, whoa, you know, this house is kind of old. Maybe it's the wind. And
Yeah.
all that stuff. And then my mom is like, same thing, you know. My older sister's like, yeah, this place is weird. And then fast forward to me graduating, and then I moved to another city. And that's when my dad's like, man, it's going to be weird here without you.
Right.
Like, yeah, but you got the place to yourself and you guys travel a lot anyways. And he's like, no, it's like weird here. Like every day crap's happening. I'm like, oh, maybe it's just the wind.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do? Tell you that this place is haunted?
Yeah.
And he didn't know what to say. And
Right.
but yeah, it turns out him, my mom, and my older sister, one thing that I did was said, what have you seen here? And they told me, and I knew I'd seen the same thing.
Things that you've seen.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
So-
fast for 20 years, and I meet her,
Yeah.
almost exactly 20 years.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm witchy and I do tarot. And I'm like, oh, great. Here we go. Because, you know, I watch TV shows and you
Right.
watch a show for 45 minutes to find out that somebody's arm hair stood up. And it's like, cool show, dude.
Yeah.
Wish
Yeah.
I was there to feel my arm hair too, you know?
I feel like that's every Ghost Hunter episode.
Yeah, I want to see it. And then,
Right.
and then there's other stuff where it's like, you know, I
Yeah.
mean, I wasn't there. I'm not going to say somebody's faking stuff because I wasn't there.
Right.
But, you know, it's kind of coincidental
Right.
that, you know, when you have a huge budget and all these cameras, and then the only space of this place is where somebody gets tackled or, you know,
Yeah.
whatever, you know.
Right. Right.
So-
You're gonna get impaled by the board like Zach Bagans.
Well, a funny story about that is the Delaney house, that woman, she's pretty up there. She works on horror sets and stuff,
Oh,
does
wow.
makeup, like sci-fi makeup and horror makeup and all that. And she might have been approached by somebody whose name rhymes with that person's name that you just said. And
Yeah.
they wanted to pay her to leave her house for like a week and her family so that they could be there by herself. And she's like,
Right.
well, I don't think you guys are gonna like rip me up. I kind of want to be around because it's my house. And like, no, you can't. What if we fly you to another? We'll send you to like Disney World or something like that. And
Right.
just trying to get rid of her. And she's like, why can't I be here? They're like, that's just not how we do, you know. And it's like, and she didn't like go through all of our stuff before we posted it, but we had a good conversation about like, you know, we're not gonna dramatize really anything. Like honestly, we have the problem of something happens and we just look at each other and walk towards it
Right.
and screaming and then saying please stop when we just asked them to do it.
Yeah. I never understood that at all.
So we've even talked about it like we're pretty deadpan when it comes to
Right.
stuff sometimes, and then you know, if anything, we could probably work on being more surprised, but we're not. You know, it's just like, hey, that's what we're here to do.
Now, Luna, growing, you said you're a medium and an empath and everything. What was it like growing up as a medium? Like not knowing much about the paranormal, or did you get into that at a younger age, or?
So I didn't know I was a medium till I was about 26, and I'm 34 right now.
Okay.
You know, I had some signs when I was little, around 9. My dad got diagnosed with cancer and he passed away, but I actually saw my dad's death before it happened. And I thought I actually was responsible for it because at a young age, I don't realize why would I see something and think something and it happens like, oh my God, I did that, you know?
Right.
Then I also had funny visions, like some of my, you know, like I had a lizard, like I, you know, was riding home on the school bus one day and I saw an image of him dead on the rock, and I get home and he's dead on the rock. And I'm like,
Wow.
I'm killing things like with my mind. Like I don't want to, I was freaking myself out. And so I just, you know, I actually shied away from death and anything having to do with ghosts. I grew up in multiple haunted houses. I was afraid. I would sleep with my head covered at night. I was tortured by the ghosts in this house. Both of my sisters were.
Right.
My mother, I believe, was possessed by one of them. She was almost completely possessed. I think she was still in the stages right before it, but there are certain things my mom does not remember. And I think that the spirit tried to take both of my parents at one point because my mother was very deathly sick after we moved in this house. She almost lost her life. So the hauntings I was in was not necessarily the ones that you would like in your house, not like his, were like, you know, a cool, you know, guy ghost just chilling out. Not that I'm saying it's not scary, because that would be scary, but this one definitely messed with me, you know, like
I feel like that's like the Conjuring family. Like that's about the same vibe that I'm getting off of that. Was it more demonic, or?
I don't like to use that word because I feel like it's so glamorized, but I would definitely say it was lower level. I couldn't tell you being young. I do know that I've looked up research on this house and it is for sale, and I would like to get into it, which I'm trying to find the new owners of the house, you know, so that I can go and investigate it. But I'm going to tell you that I will say that when we were moving, one of the movers come down because there was like this tiny little attic door where the roof kind of slants, you know, where you could store some stuff in the back room. And he comes back, he goes, I don't know if you guys know this, but your house is haunted and I'm not going back up there. And I remember my stepdad looked at him and was just like, what do you mean? And he was pale. So we knew that something was there. Other people did. So I don't know if something growled at him. I don't know if something did something, but we just knew whatever was there could teleport things, could move objects, definitely walked around and stood over my bed at night. You know, it was just that feeling of when you go down the hallway and you know something's staring at you.
Right.
You just know. I never walked through that house. I always ran to everywhere I went. And I'm not joking. I ran into everywhere I had to go. You know, every place. And it was terrifying. It was very terrifying. So I steered away from that for a very long time. I didn't like anything having to do with death, any movies about funerals, nothing. It was just, I was terrified. And then, you know, I had a spiritual awakening. My friend invited me to this place where I guess they grow your abilities. And I didn't realize I had the abilities till a medium mentor came up to me and said, do you know that you're a medium? And I was like, now I do, you know, so things.
It all makes sense.
Yeah, and so I started going towards it, and now I'm trying to work. Now I'm in the industry working with death, and I'm taking
Right.
another level past that. I'm going to schooling for some stuff, and it's just so I've literally just immersed myself into this field, and I absolutely love it. But yeah, I will. I just feel bad for people that go through hauntings like that and don't understand what's
Right.
going on. It's
Right.
terrifying because I've lived it before, and it's very
Right.
scary.
Yeah, that I lived in a house in Pennsylvania, and he liked to throw things. We called him a he. He answered to he. We didn't ever get a name. We've used spirit boxes. I kept recording on all night. I've left cameras on all night, and we never saw him. But he definitely liked to throw stuff off of walls. We were in our kitchen eating, and there's a wall separating, and our AC unit went out, and it was one of the big ones. Like, it took 2 guys to move it to the love seat, and we're all sitting next to the table, and all we hear is a crash, and it was the AC unit that fell on the ground.
Wow.
So, and then I came into the house once, and the house that we lived in, it was the caretaker house for that bigger house up front. So we don't know if it was some kind of family that passed away there, or a little girl passed. I never got any history on it. I never went that far on it. But yeah, I turned the corner to walk up the stairs and saw a little girl at the top of the stairs through her. She had a little white dress on, black hair. She was a colored girl, African American. Sorry, but yeah, like that's, and then right where the stairs were that it met the roof, you would see a little shadow of a girl in through the slats in the house, and like the door handles would move, and you'd hear the move back and forth in the closet. But yeah, it's crazy living in a haunted house. It changes you. It really does. Like, it makes you think more of, like, there's more than just this. Like, that's why people say that life's too short. You never know when you're just gonna die, and that's it. And I'm like, well, prove it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
how is there centuries and centuries and centuries of ghosts to tell me that this is the only life that we live? I don't believe it.
Right.
But going into that, we have a question of the week for any viewers that want to watch, or you watching on YouTube right now. Give it a like, give it a subscribe, ring that bell for us, put us in the comments. Go to Finding Unknown on YouTube. I don't know if you guys have a Facebook or Instagram, or
Yeah, we do. Both of us. Yeah. So if you go to our YouTube, you can find all of those links in the description.
Awesome. I want to thank everybody for watching, but this is and if you're rewatching this on YouTube, thank you for watching it. Like I said, give it a like, give it a thumbs up. Let us know what you guys want us to do, give us ideas for questions for Luna or Dolan or anybody that we investigate.
We're really excited for your upcoming videos.
Oh yeah,
We're definitely
we've watched them all. I'm so excited.
If you guys are ever coming to Florida, you should definitely let us know, and we'll figure something else out.
Right.
Well, New Orleans and Florida is where we're going to stop when we head back.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, definitely let us know when you're in Florida. We'll definitely meet you guys anywhere.
Manatee County is a very old and historic part of Florida.
Yeah. We have the Gamble Mansion here.
Yeah,
we have the Historic Society of Bradenton.
Yeah.
It's like all the original houses from when Bradenton started. They made it into like a little museum thing.
We actually recently did a tour with Paranormal Society of Bradenton.
Yeah.
With Ron and Liz. Awesome people. We love hanging out with them, and we love chatting with them.
Yeah. But if you ever get to Florida, well, you said you've lived in Florida. I don't know if you've been in Florida, Nolan, but go to St. Augustine.
St. Augustine.
Like, for sure.
Brooksville.
Yeah,
Trenton.
Brooksville, Trenton. Like, there's a lot of area that I've connected with people around here, so I can get you in. Like, just let us know. Like, there's the old Hamilton jail. It's $70 a night, and you can stay there all weekend.
So cool.
So, and like I know I've communicated with them, not as much as I know, but I'm guaranteed to get, like, not guaranteed, but I can get you into the Gilcrest. I know people, yeah.
Yeah.
So
We're gonna do our question real quick.
Yep. So before we get into that, being into the investigations and traveling and everything, do you guys like try to collect haunted objects to take home with you, or do you guys stay away from that?
Well, I mean, we're not against it, but I definitely believe we're haunted ourselves because I do a lot of spiritual work in our house and things like that. You know, I don't intentionally bring things in, but when we go to bed at night, our tiny house doesn't stop rocking. So there's definitely stuff in here that go thump, footsteps, objects moving, things like that. So we definitely have some visitors in our home, but yeah, we're not against it.
Have you guys investigated your own house, or
a little bit?
A little bit.
Or not.
I know that's kind of like your home's like your zen. You're trying to, that's your safe spot. So bringing that stuff in, I was just wondering your guys' opinion on that.
We actually we investigated. We have a garage that's separate from here. A big garage. Yeah, because I got to build stuff, and then I also have a screen print shop too. We haven't really needed to investigate there, but I had something happen a couple times, and then was like told her like, hey, I think something's happening at the garage, and she's like, let's go, and we just grabbed the stuff and got a bunch of good communication. And then since then it's been I don't think it's just how I'm feeling about it, because I feel like I connected with something. It's like the energy has totally changed. So like I was working on the van, you know, I'm laying underneath it and all this and that. And I was like, man, like stuff is happening. And I'm like, watch, like this thing's going to fall on me. I have to go up into the loft up one of them old ladders. Like I'm going to get pushed off of it, and everybody's going to think it wasn't my fault because look at me, you know? And and we got a bunch of really good stuff. And then since then, it's like we got a name. So we greet when we enter there. Hey, good morning. And what have you been up to? And like even since then, I've had some people swing by that I haven't told about, that haven't really even seen many of our episodes, if any.
Bad friends.
People that aren't like so much into this type of thing. And one of my buddies is like, who's upstairs? And I was like, you and I are the only ones here. And he's like, BS. And I was like, walk up the ladder and look up there. And he does, and there's nothing up there. And then he comes back down. And we don't have anything that's light, by the way, like besides clothes. So our loft is just heavy boxes. And then you just hear
like ghost is shifting things around.
Hey, Howard, like you need something, buddy? You know, like can I help you find something? Like go nuts. Like I don't care. Just don't
don't kill me.
I've actually been noticing a little orb flying around you guys. I don't know if that's something you guys are seeing, or
it might be fruit flies driving us nuts because we've got a garden right out here. But it's possible you did see orbs, because a lot of people say that they will see orbs when I do lives and stuff up in my loft. So it's possible.
We have a picture that you sent us. Is this just like a photo shoot, or is this part of the new season?
Yes and yes. Hey, look at that.
I love that picture. That's so cool.
Yeah, we wanted it to look like an older, like old-timey picture. But yeah, so this we didn't have any pictures because people ask us to be on podcasts and shows. They're like, hey, send us a picture if you guys, so we can, you know, we don't have one. It's always like old school pictures and stuff. We send people, so just like, hey, we figured we were in our attire, so we might as well throw some really cool pictures up. And yeah, so this is what to expect from season 3. We're going with the creepy funeral vibes.
That's awesome. So is this like a cemetery around your house that you kind of just
it's about 50 miles away.
Yeah, it's about an hour away from us. It's
it definitely looks cool.
It was 90 degrees that day, so
and I had this going on. So she's like, what can we do? And I'm like, you're just always going to be on this side, and I'll just put my arm behind you.
We live in Florida. We know what 90 degrees.
Yes, you do.
So then I guess
if you live here, you know.
Probably like 75 to you.
To you guys,
Okay, that's not bad.
We don't have humidity.
Yeah, no.
No.
So haunted objects, speaking of like clowns and dolls, and we actually own a haunted doll.
He owns a haunted doll.
I own a haunted doll.
I
She
like
doesn't
it.
like it. It's locked up in storage right now.
We don't
but
like each other.
we've mentioned it a couple times on Good Job Underworld. You're awesome. Luna and Nolan, I follow you guys now. Cool. Thank you so
Bonnie.
much.
Thank you, Bonnie. We'll try to follow you back when we see you.
It's cool. Bonnie and Nate's one of my really good friends. Those are personal friends of ours that they want to get into investigating too. So that's kind of like our one little group that we're trying to create right now.
Yeah. Do
But
it.
I also have anybody that's watching right now, they ask for the YouTube, they ask for all my info. Scan this QR code right now and it goes to all of my information. But
Over there somewhere. Somewhere over there.
so that goes to all of our information.
Yeah.
So if you need us to investigate or you need Luna and Nolan, no matter where they travel, they let us know. We're here to help you guys.
Mhm.
So this is my doll Shannon.
She's so cute.
She is. So this was passed down in my best friend's family. Sarah doesn't like it at all.
She and I
So
don't
it was
like each
passed
other.
down from the 1920s, and my friend Lizzie's completely petrified of it. So she's like, "Here, you're into paranormal, keep it." But we
And
were
you can
doing
keep it in a box.
we were doing an investigation on it, and I was holding it like a baby, and I said, "Do you want me to let you down?" And it says, "Sit down on the EVP." I could play this real quick for you.
All right, I got something for you. Listen to this.
So, do you guys use trick like you guys? I know you guys got the balloons and all this, and the balls and dolls. And do you get like what's your go-to thing for like trigger objects to try to get spirits to interact with them?
Honestly, we just like come to their level. Like we understand the history and understand where they come from, and we try to ask them questions. Like it's so funny. We won't do like typical what everyone else does. Like sometimes you'll see us say, like, hey, we ask you to do stuff all the time. You want us to do something for you? Ask us to do something. We try to like change up the conversation. We
Right.
try to just be different. We just try to talk about like, hey, I heard that this happened to you. That sucks. Like, are you okay? You know,
Right.
like we try not to be like, so I heard you died. Tell me, where was it? You know, it's like we still try to treat spirits like humans because they're free
They
souls.
are. Right. Yeah.
Not everything though, but you know, we never push, we never antagonize. We just talk to them like they're humans, and
Right.
you know, we try to ask the questions that most people wouldn't. And I know that doesn't seem scary, but that's when you usually get the best responses.
Yeah, that's what I've mentioned before. Like you be an asshole to somebody that even when they're alive, they're not gonna talk to you. Like they're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, no, dude, I'm just gonna go over to this room. Thanks."
Yeah.
But yeah, you have to treat everything with respect, and you know, going into like even the property owners, like you have to be respectful. You have to be professional about it, and it guarantees you to get back into the locations. You know, you form a relationship. You go in there and antagonize and open spirits or open portals, or we use Ouija boards or and not close them properly and do what you're supposed to do as an investigator. Some people can go in there and make it worse.
Yeah.
So, like, you have to do everything respectfully and always follow the owner's rules.
Yeah.
Like, so we have another comment. Yay. Bonnie said, very true.
Mhm.
All right. So we have a question for the week. Everybody in the comments, and we want to let Luna and Nolan, we want to get your input on it. And if this has ever happened to you, or if you've ever seen anything. So, anybody in the comments, while me and Luna and Nolan are talking about their experience, anybody in the comments, let us know. So Harlem says yes, absolutely. Bonnie says 100% yes. So Luna and Nolan, have you ever experienced a shadow person while you're doing investigations, or
Yes.
can you explain a little bit?
They're out of the corner of my eye, being a medium. I will tell people as well, just because it's a shadow figure doesn't mean it's bad or evil. Sometimes your family members will come through looking like shadow people. So don't always think just because it's dark, it's evil. Sometimes that's just how they can manifest. We were in a really, unfortunately, this episode didn't make it off of our footage because it was just tainted. One of the investigators we were with were very loud. It was very hard to get the stuff off of there. Just like we couldn't use any of it. We were in an old abandoned funeral home, and we had just had our merchandise launching, and we wanted to get the blue light looking on it because our merchandise glows in the dark. And Nolan wanted to tape the back side of the merchandise going down these creepy stairs so that we could have it for content. Great idea. We're taping content, might as well do it. And we turned off the lights, and I'm kind of I have really bad astigmatism, so I can't really see that well in the dark. Not a lot of people can, but I typically can't. So I told myself, I have to go to this side. I can't really I got to hold on to something because I don't want to trip and fall down these like freaking 30 stairs. And as soon as he turns off the light, it was not my eyes playing a trick on me. There's a door. It's basically the basement to the funeral home. Okay, it's the basement. Everybody,
the bodies.
It's the basement. Okay.
Yeah.
And the staircase is huge. It's massive. It's not a tiny one. And as I'm walking down, I literally see hands go like this and through the doorway. And I literally am like, oh shit! I take a step back and I run towards it. And so he goes flying down the stairs with me. And I look around the corner and I was like, okay, where did you go? I saw you. And like typically people would run the other way, but I'm like, I'm an investigator. I'm gonna see where the hell.
Absolutely.
Scared the shit out of me for sure. But
I feel like that's more of the fun part of investigating.
But here's the thing, like it was perfect. Like it was like this. So to the side, there's no way that it was standing on its feet. It had to be floating or something because of the way it grabbed the door and its whole body comes out.
Right.
It was crazy. There was no way it was human.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So Bonnie says, I have from the corner of my eye to look back and nothing's there, but I was feeling very strange for 20 minutes with goosebumps years ago.
Yeah, it's creepy.
Definitely. Yeah, no, like you see it and you're like, I don't even know what I just saw. Like you spend more time trying to contemplate of what you're trying to visualize what just happened again. And like you said, like the spirit would literally have to be standing sideways along the wall. Yeah, that's crazy. Mm-hmm. So Nate said, yes, I've been visited by a friend's dead dad, and he was sitting on my bed and he was a shadow.
Yep.
Which I know exactly who he's talking about. And yeah, I remember Nathan telling me about that. But
I actually saw a pair of boots going up the stairs at the Gamble Mansion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I was standing behind. We were going for a tour group with a couple other people. Me and him were on the back because he was taking pictures. I was waiting for him behind the group that was already walking forward. I look over to my left and there's a pair of heavy dark boots like stomping up the stairs. And I moved forward to go look around, and the stairs were closed off.
Like there was a rope.
Yeah, and it said,
up the stairs.
Do not enter. And then they let us go up the stairs, so they untied the rope, and I rushed up there, and there was nobody up there but the tour group.
Yeah, and then the same group. So my text message is a little girl whispering, "I can't see you."
No, it's I see.
Yeah. So. And she literally watched me put my phone on silent
because they told us put your phones on
and
silent
we're
before
like
you go on the tour.
We're the only young couple that there. Like the rest of them are like elderly and like the tour guide's even like a middle-aged guy. Yeah. So we're in like the tour guide's talking and we're standing in this room and it's all quiet.
No, we
and
weren't
my
even
phone
in the room.
goes
we were
off.
outside.
And like people would just stare, like looking at us, so like, oh man, all right, yeah, let's go this way.
Yeah,
let's get away from these people.
I swear he put his phone on silent.
But
it was crazy.
The house that I lived in Pennsylvania, the guy downstairs, I think he was my shadow person that followed me around. Because everywhere I went, even at work, like things would like fall off the shelves, or like I lived up there for like 3 years, and I came back to Florida, and like a year later I moved back up. And they told me that there was no activity in the house at all while I was gone. And as soon as I walked back in the house, like just like it felt like all the air got sucked out of the apartment, and like whoever was there did not like that I was back in that house, because I didn't let them infect me. I'm like, no, I believe in this stuff. I'm an investigator. You can go scare and knock somewhere else, because that's not going to do anything. Go mess with my roommate that's scared of you.
Right.
It's not going to be me. But we have a couple more. I've seen a shadow in the hallway by my sister's room. They're kind of walked down the hall and into my mom's bedroom. Yeah, we had a shadow figure walk down our hallway. It passed. Like I feel like he enjoyed getting a rouse out of us, because he would do stuff with like new people that would come to our house or anything. He would walk past the doorway really fast, and people would be like, "What the hell is that?" And then he would do it again like 3 more times, and the door handle would jiggle. And I feel like the guy got a kick out of it. So sometimes I see a shadow figure in our dining room and walk towards our cadenza. We've named him Charles, and there's several at the Riverview house.
Oh yeah, the house that my family cousins grew up in was always haunted. Like no matter where my cousins have lived, their houses have always had something in there. Right now they have a spirit named Bob, and he likes to mess with the lights.
Yeah, we got a video. They sent us a video of them counting to 10, and as soon as they get to 10, the fan and the lights turn on.
Yeah, the light turns on.
So, I mean, they live in Arkansas too. So that's the connection that we want to get in. Maybe we can meet one day. We come to Florida, or if we ever get to travel and we cross paths, I would love to do something with you guys. I feel now that we've done an interview, House Ghost Bob. There you go. It sounds like a great name. But now that you guys did the interview, you guys are part of the Underworld family.
Welcome.
And we're so glad that you guys could spend time with us and tell us about your experiences. Before we go, is there anything like you would like to mention about your YouTube, or anything
coming up?
Not necessarily anything from season 3 or anything, but just
what we should look forward to in season 2.
So season 2, we're going to do Broken Bow Asylum is the next episode. Then it's going to be, we're going to do the Goatman's Bridge, and then the Mizpah will be the last episode. Possibly Seven Sisters. We need to look at it. We did Seven Sisters Road in Texas, which hasn't really been investigated.
Nebraska.
So in Nebraska, I'm sorry.
We actually went there.
We actually went to Seven Sisters Road. So we're going to see if it's even usable, any of the stuff that we have. So there might be 3, maybe 4 episodes. Season 3 is going to be all spooky season. We've got some collabs with some really bigger people, which is amazing. So it's just going to be, it's going to be insane, guys. Just keep watching us, because we're just going to keep growing, and things are just, it's hard for us to keep up on everything. So
congrats on making it to season 2, by the way.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming and hanging out with us. Yeah. We greatly appreciate it. Hopefully we can do this again.
Definitely. Thanks for having us. It was truly an honor. Thank you, guys.
It was awesome getting the chance to talk to you guys.
Absolutely.
I think we're going to be wrapping it up.
All right.
Yeah, it is getting
Thank you so much, and I hope you guys have a great night. Go to the Facebook, go to their Underworld, or go to Finding Unknown on YouTube. I'm so used to saying it. The Underworld. But go to Finding Unknown on YouTube. Watch all their videos. Subscribe and like and hit the bell for them. They need all the support they can get. But
we're definitely going to be in touch with you guys.
Absolutely.
Please do.
Have a great night. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks to everyone who's watching live and who's going to be watching it later on after it's already gone live. I know some of my family's watching it after it's going to go live. They're busy.
Right. So what do you guys think of the episode? Did you guys like it? Let us know in the comments. If you're watching this on YouTube, like I said, throw that like, throw that subscribe, throw a comment up there, hit that bell.
We're actually trying to make it to our next goal, which is to have 500 subscribers on YouTube.
Yes.
Because once we hit 500 subscribers on YouTube, we start getting paid for it.
And
so, everyone who's over here on Facebook, go watch us on YouTube too.
Absolutely. And we might have a little secret next week.
I don't know anything about this. I just got home.
Show up to next week.
You guys are going to have to stay tuned. So thanks to everyone who's watching now and later. And anyone,
Thank you, Harlem. I appreciate it.
Everyone can like, share, and like and sharing helps us out a lot.
Absolutely. Yeah. If anybody that's watching this, subscribe, share the video go on YouTube, go on Underworld Ministry on Facebook. Share the videos, share it to your friends, talk to everybody that you know about Underworld. We're trying to get up, we're trying to get going. Like I said,
we're working on it.
We're trying to maybe throw some merch. Maybe
we have some things in the works, so
maybe
you'll have to stay and figure it out.
Have a good night, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you
we
for
love
coming
you.
to the Creepy Kids table.
Wow.
Remember, always stay creepy, my friends.
Have a good night, you guys.
Peace.